guys, my name is Flux, and today I prepared a selection of rings that are poorly designed so you can really clearly see what is properly made and what is improperly made, because you would be amazed. And so when you're going to be shopping for your engagement ring jewelry, these are things that you can easily look out for and know who or who not to work with. So hope you enjoyed this video, and let's jump into it. Next we have halo rings. I can talk about halo rings for an infinity. I see so many poor designs, and this is one of them. So as you can see right now, the halo is actually flat. It is not supposed to be flat.
That's not supposed to happen.
This is like a super rookie mistake that I see all the time. It really lacks refinement, as you can see, in contrast to these ones. So this is what it's supposed to look like. All the halos are supposed to be angled. Why are they supposed to be angled? Because they're supposed to come in and accentuate the center stone. Having it angled makes it just look so much more like fluid, so much more refined, and just less bulky. You can see the difference right away. I don't find the first one flattering at all. It just kind of lacks a little bit of a je ne sais quoi, whereas this one is so much more fluid, and that is the point. Yeah, I don't know. It's really striking to me, the difference. This is the same size stone, the same size shank, the same amount of diamonds, and look at the difference. So if you look at these little prongs, you're gonna see just how square they actually are and that they're just going straight down. This is like the perfect indicator that this is a jeweler who has like zero refinement levels.
It's just boring.
So I would definitely watch out for this because I see it all the time. So in contrast, this is what it's actually supposed to look like. So you see how the prongs are actually going inwards. The bezel where, you know, the diamond is sitting is going inwards. In having this movement, it just makes it look so much more refined, and when you're seeing them side by side, you can clearly see what it is that I'm talking about, because this looks like bulky and this looks like much more like fluid. And so this is the #1 indicator that I look for to see if somebody knows what they're doing or not. Next we have filigree. Filigree, milligrane, beadwork, whatever you want to call it, is these little guys here. So as you can see, this is what I would not recommend, and sometimes I see like rookie jewelers doing it.
Don't do it.
Where the filigrane will actually be on the surface, as opposed to here, which is properly done, where the filigrane will be below the surface. Why do we do this? We do this because we don't want to basically damage it. In having it above surface, whenever it's going to be polished, it's going to wear it down, it's going to misshape them. You really want it below in order to protect and preserve the design. Let me show a perfect example of what the filigrane would look like if it isn't below the surface. So this is an exception. This is a Victorian wedding band that I made for a client, and as you can see, this pattern's all within the center of the ring as well. If this is the case, then it won't be below the surface. What we will do instead is all of the detailings will actually made extra high. So that's why it looks very tall, all the little details, because they're made in consequence to be polished down, and so it won't affect the final design and basically destroy the little detailing. The other thing I want to show you is this, the bottom of the band. I always recommend having a solid gold base because it will allow you to resize and not affect the pattern. Alright, so if you look at these two shanks, the difference is very, very minute. But I want you to bear with me because this is really who's going to define who is a good designer and who is not. The one on the left, the shank, is very square versus the one on the right is more rounded. When somebody is designing like this, it looks so incredibly cheap, and it is a big definer of who actually knows how to 3D design and who doesn't. And let me show you how it's made, just to explain to you how basic their design levels are. Okay, so if you look here, the way that they're designing is they're actually just taking this curve, that very square, rigid curve, and extruding it, making a surface. This is the epitome of poorly designed rings. I actually see it quite often, especially in larger retail stores. And then what they're going to do is they're going to take these hard edges and just like round them down ever so slightly like this. And so when you're looking at your ring, it's going to end up looking like this. There's no movement, there's no fluidity in comparison to this, which is basically designed by modeling the points itself, and it gives a much more simple, elegant finish. That big walkaway. See all these little holes underneath the stones? So these are actually traditionally done to basically let the light pass through the stone and illuminate it instead of being just set in metal. A lot of the times clients will ask if they know about it to add these little holes, but it's not always applicable because oftentimes if the diamonds are too small, let's say you have a 1mm diamond, that means that hole is going to be about 0.5 millimeters large, which means that it's going to get like filled with a little bit of gunk, a little bit of cream, anything in there, and so you don't want that. Generally, I don't recommend having these little light holes for under 1.3mm stones because it's just not worth it. Alright guys, this is the mashup. If ever you have any other questions, comments, or any other little things you want me to touch on, just leave them in the comments below and maybe I can try and make another video. This is definitely a lot of fun, so let me know if you like this format. And yeah, if ever you want to work together, my name is Dominic and my links are down below. So thanks for watching and until next time, bye!